I think it must be like maybe the third part in this little series of the lift cover skull ring. I'm going to show you now from this part here after I had cast it to making a production rubber mold, and then the final piece, and we'll kind of go through the steps. All right, you guys, thanks for watching, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks. We're moving along. We're gonna make the mold now. So I showed you that yes, it got tumbled, but yeah, afterwards you polish it some more because you want to have a real smooth finish. Like I say about the waxes going into the investment for casting, it's just as important for the master model to be, you know, the use of the word perfect. It's got to be where you want to see the waxes come out, because then there's less work for you to do when you're finishing up the waxes. So it compounds your problem if you don't take care of it at each stage, if that makes sense. So if you leave something here and you make multiples of them, then you'll have a multiple problem to fix later. So fix it, make it look nice, and there we go. So remember what I say about the X. You gotta know where the X is, so that you know where you're cutting into, right? So just put a piece down. This stuff is great to work with. It's just the best. And then I'm gonna do a sideways mold. So I know I want it to go in like this. That's the X. I'm gonna cut this way here. I'm gonna cut my chocolate tabs. So push some into the details, right? Okay, so we know that's like that. Okay, right, like you want it in the middle, right? Okay, there we go. Anybody that's using the old rubber stuff, stop it. Just go buy this stuff. It's cheaper. It's a better product. Waxes come out of it real nice. Okay, so let's get a bit more here. Okay, now my vulcanizer, I've turned it on a long time ago. It's up to 350. You want to bake this stuff, I think it's 15 minutes for every 1/4 inch. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. So a little bit extra, you know, because you're going to be pushing down and you want to fill all the voids. The last thing you want to do is not put enough econosil in here. And you have no drilled or vent holes. Some molds in the old day, you're supposed to put a little 1/8 hole in the mold so that the extra stuff could escape. You don't want to do that here. Just crank that friggin' thing down. Okay, look at your watch and go, okay, it's 1:30. 1:30. Stick that in your head. 1:30, or get a timer and set it. Because if this stuff goes a little bit longer, it's not the end of the world. But if it's not cooked long enough, then it is. It's like the mold won't be any good. So that's making a mold. We're going to show, in this sequence, we're going to show making the mold, getting ready to make the mold, getting the master ready to make the mold, making the mold, cutting open the mold, and injecting a couple waxes. So this will be like part 3 or part 4. Anyways, you guys, have a nice day. You've seen some pictures, kind of working our way along here. We're making the rubber mold now for the lifter cover skull ring. And so I'm going to cut in a couple hours since I turned this off. It's getting later on in the afternoon. What is it, about 4 o'clock now? It's still a little bit lukewarm, but I don't mind working with it lukewarm. So anyways, I even treated myself to a new X-Acto blade. Whew. That doesn't happen that often. Don't be cheap. Buy a dozen or 2 dozen at a time. Put them on a shelf. So when you do need them, you've got them. Okay, so I used the scissors to trim off the edge here to make it nice. Remember, these molds sit around here by the dozens, by the hundreds, and you want them to be, you want to look like you know what you're doing, and they're production molds, okay? Is that going to be right in there? I hope so. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a nice new blade. Cuts like butter. There's my X. I call that the parting line. It's just nice. I don't know where I learned my technique from. Oh, it's like hot knife through butter. Amazing when the knife is sharp. And I actually have a style to cutting the tabs. They do actually have a shape to them that I'm aiming for. What happened to that wax now? Now I know that the ring, because that's the X, the ring is sitting in there. Not this ring, but the ring is sitting in there like that. Maybe I should go back a little further. I hope that's better. I know the ring's sitting in there like that, so it doesn't matter. I'm just going to keep going along there until I find that. But I want to put the tabs on the back. Don't go in too far here because you need the shape of the... Remember, this is a mold that's going to have a core, a removable core. These big rings, you just can't help it. You have to have something like that, otherwise they just don't work properly. Okay, I'm happy with that now. Okay, so that's the back of the ring. There it is. Okay, you see it? So I want to go past the edge of the ring so that I'm cutting like that. I'm cutting so that the core, why isn't there a ring around to the core? And that's why you got to use the hook blades. Remember, the teeth are there. Sometimes you gotta get a little creative with your cutting style too, you guys. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then coming along here. Turned out nice. So now we want to cut the gate or the sprue. Now this one, it's just a sprue for the wax because it's not heavy enough, and you don't want to make this too heavy. Because you only need a certain amount of wax flowing in here at once. Nice cut like that. Just close it, and then make your little nick there, and a little nick there, a little cut, and then when you open it like that, you can see them. Right? And give yourself a little spot here too for the wax to flow into. It'll pull away from there. Okay, look at that. Now, little talcum powder. Now, I just know that these molds are like that. Get one of your chisels and then just poke a hole. Poke a hole at the bottom of each tooth here, like it just lets the air out. The wax won't ever go through there, but the air will go through out there. Side here, out. They gotta go open though, they gotta go out. They can't just not go anywhere. Okay. Oh, let's get that light out of the way. Remember, you know, my air compressor is a little noisy, but I don't leave it on all the time. Big mold like this, we're going to run 15 pounds for, oh, I don't know, I'd say at least 15 seconds. And it's at about 195 degrees. Okay, that's gonna take a while to set up. It's gonna take 5 minutes before I take that wax out. Okay, that should be enough time there. So, you know, take your time opening it up. Just, you know, Like I said earlier, this little sprue for doing the waxes, for a large piece like this, you just break it off because it's not going to work anyways. You're going to have to sprue it with something heavier. All right. If you've cut this right, it's tapered. It'll just pop right out. And you've made your cuts and your lines. Where's my red? My red X-Acto knife. Boy, that's nice and clean. Now, I mean, that wax is in such great shape. I just need to sprue that puppy up. And if you go to the beginning where I go to the beginning where I make the wax, you'll see how it's full circle now. So I could make as many of these as I want now. 100, 200, 500, 1,000, 2 or 3. This one here is the original. I'm hallmarking the originals now, #1. So this one's AJ, my old diamond stamp, then the 01, and then blingbling.ca sterling. So it's the #1. Because it is about 3% bigger, because through this process it shrinks a little bit. These won't shrink anymore. All of these now that come out of here will always be the same size. But from the original, through the casting process, through the rubber mold and all that, the difference between here is about 3%. So you make things a little bit larger while you're going into production. Damn, that's nice. Anyways, wait a sec. That's nice. All right, you guys.